Well, greetings, class. Today we're talking about principles of economics. This is going to be a short review just to teach you about the principles of economics and to understand the basic economic principle that we want to get across to you. Well, first of all, your choice will always equal a cost. This is a basic concept in all economic principle. And so if you understand that whatever choice you make, there is always a cost. How much are you willing to pay is the question you have to ask yourself. And then you also need to ask yourself, what will be your return? And so things that will cost you, it could cost you money, it could cost you time, it could cost you your fame, your assets that you may have acquired, your honor, your word, a favor, your character, or success. But always remember the basic principle of economics that we want you to understand is that your choice will always equal a cost. There is nothing free, there is no free lunch. Whatever choice you make, you have to live with that choice. And what are you willing to pay for that choice? What is the cost that you're willing to pay? So another thing you could look at it would be your actions equals consequences. It could be a positive or it could be a negative consequence. The most familiar thing you see on TV ads are, don't drink and drive. There's an action, there's a choice there, and then there's also a consequences or cost to that. And so in that choice would be a negative. And so you need to understand that's a basic principle when we talk about economics. Well, going on, understand the problem-solving process in this financial decision-making that we have. It can happen to individuals or families, small businesses, corporations, or government. All these things have to have that important concept that all actions equal a cost, that there's a cost related to everything. And if you look at each group, doesn't matter if it's individual, your group, other small groups, businesses, or government, you know that income, we have to worry about income, we have to worry about expenses, and then what is left over remaining is a profit, is what we can use for other things after we pay off our expenses. A definition of economics is the study of how people seek to satisfy their needs and wants by making choices. That's what economics is. And if you really go back to that first concept we made, that every choice equals a cost, you see that what you're looking for is your needs and wants, and by making your choices there. Economics is a study of how people seek to satisfy their needs and wants by making choices. People act as individuals, groups, businesses, government agencies in making decisions about the needs and wants list that they are operating with. And so with that, you consider what economics really is. In economics, we look at goods as physical objects such as plants or animal products or byproducts. We also look at services. Services are actions or activities that one person performs for another. Lawn care, grooming of animals, those things of that nature are service. So those things you keep in mind. Now, another concept in economics that we'll cover is the key to making decisions on your need and wants is scarcity. Scarcity implies limited quantities, limited quantities of products to meet unlimited wants. So think about that. There is a limit to what we have, but our wants are unlimited. So in scarcity, there is a limited quantities of products to meet our unlimited wants, and that's the definition of scarcity. Limits are always reached, and you look at your supply and demand curve. As the demand goes up, the supply will go down. As demand gets less, the supply will go up. Like in your oil and gas, and basically the freedom of your driving. You are willing to pay a certain price for your gas, but as more people drive, that drives the surplus of gas down, which drives the price up. So scarcity versus shortage. Shortage occurs when producers will not or cannot offer goods or services at a current rate or price. That's what a shortage is. Usually it's temporary, or it could be long term or by season. and it has a lot to do with things like drought, okay, the weather conditioning, could be wars or unrest, but may cause shortages that could last for years. But usually when we think of shortages, we're thinking about drought or the weather that causes some trouble with that. So when we look at scarcity, scarcity will always exist because our needs and wants are always greater than our resource supply. Okay, and we'll talk more about needs and wants in our next lecture, but understand that scarcity always exists because our needs and wants are always greater than our resources can supply. Okay, that was a very short review, and I guess to say a review of economic principles. Thank you.